Hey guys, and welcome to Ultimate Body Hype's live video. So today, the topic, are you stuck in a rut? What kind of rut? Well, are you just going through the motions, just doing, in effect, rubbish workouts that aren't really getting you anywhere? Are you not even doing workouts because you can't be bothered because you lost all motivation once you couldn't go to the gym anymore? You didn't know what to do at home, so you've just been doing nothing for the last 3 or 4 months, just sitting on the sofa eating food. Well, if that's been you, or partly you, depending on what's happened to you, let's see how we can get back from that and what you need to do specifically in order to get yourself back on track so that you can get the body that you're always striving for. So one key thing we can do right there is to visualize what you actually want to achieve. Because if you don't know what you actually truly want to achieve, then where are you even going? If you don't have somewhere to aim for, then you're just going to be trying to do things, but you don't actually know what you're trying to get to. So how do you know what steps you need to take in order to get there? So that's the first thing. You need to visualize exactly what you want. Because if you want to just lose fat specifically, then there are some steps you can take to do that. But if you want to, say, lose fat and sculpt your body, so that once you've lost that fat, you've got that good looking body already, then there's a whole other load of steps that you need to take in order for that to happen. If you want to get stronger, if you want to do this, if you want to do that, there are different pathways you need to take in order to get there. So what are you going to do? Well, sit down. I want you to write down what your ideal body looks like. That could be, how much you weigh. That's not always the best one because you can look great and weigh the same amount due to losing fat and gaining some lean muscle that's going to give you that toned look that you want. So weight isn't always the best idea, but for example, you could measure yourself and then you say how much you want to take off. So for example, you measure, your arms, your bust, your hips, your waist, and your thighs, and maybe your calves, and then you say, oh, I want to have an inch off that in the next month, 2-3 months, or I want 2.5. That's always a good way to look at it. Or your ultimate goal could be, oh, I want a complete flat stomach, or I want abs. So if it's something like that, then that's quite easy to visualize, but also you'll know when you've got there specifically. So what else are you going to do? Well, one thing you need to do to get that motivation back is, along with visualizing and, as we said, setting goals, specific goals, we then need to set our medium-term goals, which is how we're going to get to that step. So if your long-term goal is to lose 30 pounds of fat in the next 3 months, then you could say after a month I need to have lost 10 pounds and then 20 pounds, and then that third month will be 30 pounds. That's just a very up in the air example, but you get the point. You need to have markers and milestones as to where you are going for different reasons. One reason is it will motivate you because once you get there, you'll think, oh, I can do this, and it will push you to go further. And also, they don't mean that you just have to get that amount. You can get more than that, and that's even better. And you'll be like, oh, I'm doing even better. But you have to set realistic goals as well, because if you set too high standards, then you're likely going to fail, and then you're not going to want to carry on. Even if you, so for example, you said in the first week, I'm going to lose 5 pounds of pure fat. We always want to talk about losing pure fat and not just weight, because there's so many different ways you can lose weight far quicker, but it doesn't really help you at all to look better. So 5 pounds of pure fat in 1 week. You get to it and you've lost 4.5 pounds. You might be slightly happy, but you're going to say, oh, I didn't reach my goal. And then the week after, you're not going to be motivated, and it just it doesn't do well for helping you get to where you want to be. So set realistic goals, medium-term goals, and then you have to look at small-term goals, so daily wins. So what are you going to do today? Okay, I'm going to make sure I work out this day, and this day, and on these other rest days, my goal is that I'm not going to eat too much or this amount, or I'm only going to have a treat on my workout days. Things like that, just daily wins that will help you to keep motivated, mentally strong and solid, and that will really help you in your overall progression. Now that's one aspect of it, but even more than that, a good way to help is to plan your day out. Now, we are creatures of habit. We often do the same thing unless we're specific type of jobs where it's just really random, but generally we either work a certain amount of time or shifts, so you do know what you're going to be doing, even if it's within the week or 2 weeks, so you have some room to plan. But the problem is people say, I don't have enough time to do this, or you have to work out for hours, or how do people fit that in? And the reality is that if you think about it, it's not actually that amazing, because there's 168 hours in the week. Now, you take out a third of that for sleep, and it leaves you around 120 hours, and then you take out working, however much that is. Even if that's a 40-hour week, you've still got a good amount. And then you obviously want to spend time with your family, and then doing different things like that. So you need to really plan so that you can make the most out of your time, so you can be effective, efficient, and purposeful in what you're doing. Now, I appreciate people putting comments. I'm actually registered blind, so I can't read them right now, but I will go through after and look at them and answer any questions you have. So please post them, and they can be a topic for another video, or I'll respond in a private message. But when people don't plan, they often don't do a workout, they eat badly. But when they do plan, even pre-plan their meals, make them up at the start of the week, and then just have them during the week, they've saved themselves so much more time than they actually realise. But when you get into a good routine, when you start adding in things like getting 8 hours of sleep and going to bed at a reasonable time, say 10, 11 o'clock, having 8 hours of sleep, you've got a good amount of time in the morning. Perhaps you could go to the gym then. You don't need to be there for 2 hours, 3 hours. It's not just an hour is enough. Now, you may have travel time that affects you, but everyone has time, and you will make time for things that you really want to do. That is the biggest thing. So if you truly want to transform your body, even if you have the tightest of schedules, you will make time to lose that fat and to get the body that you want. So how can you plan? Well, I would suggest writing out on a A4 bit of paper each day, what do you have to do at what time? Block that in so far, and then look at what time you have around it. As I say, try and go to bed at a reasonable time, get up at a reasonable time, so you've had a good amount of rest. That means you'll have energy, so you can do things in the morning, because often people are like, oh, I'm not a morning person. That is just how your body has become, because you either go to bed late, or perhaps you have a bad sleep because you're not working out. I mean, I know myself, if I don't work out, I don't have a great sleep because I haven't expended energy, so my body just doesn't want to go to sleep. But if you've worked out and you get into a routine, then you will, over time, build that into a good routine, and then have more energy and motivation in the day, I promise you. I've seen it happen with many of my clients, and they don't realise it at the start, but it will happen. but we have to do it slowly. And that's what my methodology is with my clients, is to build them up step by step using habits, taking away bad habits, adding in good habits. Now, if you'd like some help with that, building lifestyle habits around your fitness and nutrition, your exercise plan, then use the link that I'm going to put in the comments box to book a free strategy call with me, where I help you to do just that. And I look forward to chatting with you then.